Today we're talking about the autofocus lenses that I use for the Sigma FP and LUMIX S5iiX. Over the last year or so since the introduction of the S5iiX and its phase detect autofocus, I've been slowly building up my arsenal of autofocus lenses. And so today we're going to take a look at the autofocus lenses that I have in my collection for both the Sigma FP and the S5iiX from LUMIX. And so with that, let's dive right in talking about the first lens, which is the Sigma 24-70 f2.8 DGDN. This lens is kind of my all-around lens. It's often on my A cam, and it is one that I use if I'm not sure exactly what I'm filming that day. I may take this again just as an all-around lens. This is really the workhorse of the set. This is probably one over the years that's gotten the most use out of all of my autofocus lenses. And so this, by no surprise, is in my collection. Now, following that, the next lens is the Sigma 70-200 f2.8 DGDN Sport. When I reviewed this lens last year, I said to myself that I had to own this lens, and I purchased the lens pretty much right after launch, and I have not regretted purchasing it to this date. I love being out of the action, but also getting some of those accent shots, some of those emotional shots from either a work event or a BTS project where I'm trying to get the emotions or some of those raw feelings from the day or whatever may be going on. I'm trying to get in there, but also kind of be a fly on the wall. And so the 70-200 allows for me to do that. Now that's where my zoom lenses stop and my prime lenses start. The next lens that I have is the Sigma 45mm f2.8. This is one that if I'm looking at a good travel prime lens, I'm definitely taking this on the trip. I love it. It's small and compact. I love using it on the Sigma FP or even the LUMIX S9, again, just for a small footprint. And I've actually talked about this lens as far as in the realm of street photography. And if you want to see that video, I'll leave it linked in the description below. The next lens in my set or my arsenal is the Sigma 50mm f1.2 DGDN Art. I'm kind of going out of order with all the focal lengths, but we'll keep going. This is again one that came out recently, and I said that I had to have it. And again, almost at launch date, ordered this lens, and I've also not regretted it. This is probably a theme of these lenses, ones that I've been able to keep and build up a really good set of autofocus lenses. And the 50mm f1.2 is another one of those that I've invested in, and it has paid off in dividends. I took this lens on set for a shoot, which was testimonials for the company I worked for. Because we were traveling for this shoot, I did want to keep things a little bit more light and compact, and so I was able to take the 50mm f1.2 with the LUMIX S5iiX as my A cam, and honestly, I got some of my favorite footage I've ever shot with that combination. And then that leads me to the last autofocus lens in my set, which is the Sigma 35mm f1.2. This is actually one of the older primes. This is one of the newer ones in my set. I actually reviewed this lens for Sigma about a year and a half ago and absolutely loved it when I reviewed it. And when I picked up the 50mm f1.2, I wanted to complete the f1.2 set, and so I purchased the 35mm f1.2. And honestly, the pair of the f1.2s are just a knockout punch as far as a good prime set. These could honestly be a set just by themselves, having a stellar 50mm and 35mm, both f1.2 and both with really good autofocus. Again, honestly, no brainer if you're building out your prime set. And so for that, those are my autofocus lenses that I currently use for the Sigma FP and LUMIX S5iiX. If you have any questions about these lenses or want to just chat about these lenses, let me know in the comments below or reach out to me on Instagram. We can start a conversation there. If you are an L mount user, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We talk about L mount all day long on this channel. Occasionally we'll talk about other systems, but mostly L mount. And so if you are an L mount user, make sure to subscribe to the channel. As always, thank you for joining the light, whatever. We're just letting it roll. Thank you for joining. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. Peace. This freaking light, I swear.